McLaren team principal Andrea Stella has signed a contract extension with the Woking outfit to remain with them for a multi-year deal. The current team principal has enjoyed a lot of success at McLaren since he joined the team and has worked his way up to become the team principal. The team right now look like they could well win their first Constructors' Championship since 1998, which just really puts in perspective how long it's been for McLaren. I've been waiting pretty much my entire life to see this. When it last happened, I was just a toddler, so I cannot remember it happening, McLaren winning the Constructors' Championship, but it could well happen. I mean, this kind of puts it into perspective as well for me, like the job that he's done. And don't get me wrong, other people have, I've been a kind of contributor to this. It's a massive team, but at the end of the day, he's the main leader of that team. When he came in as team principal 18 months ago, McLaren finished 5th in the Constructors' Championship and 600 points behind Red Bull Racing. 18 months on, they're very close to them, like 30, 40 points behind, something like that. And with the way both Piastri and Norris are going in the way, and more importantly, Sergio Perez is going, it's looking likely for me that Constructors' Championship is going to go to Woking. In fact, I believe most bookmakers have McLaren as the favourites now to win the Constructors' Championship ahead of Red Bull Racing. So yeah, if you're wondering a bit about his background, people may remember him as being the race engineer for Fernando Alonso. That's when I first heard of Andrea Stella. Giornata Fantastica, remember he came on the radio saying that after, Valencia 2012? Was that was the European Grand Prix, I think, yeah. Which it was a fantastic race for him, absolutely. He joined Ferrari in the year 2000 after graduating from university with a degree in fluid dynamics, which is basically aerodynamics for the most part for engineers. He was a performance engineer for Michael Schumacher, then Kimi Raikkonen, then Fernando Alonso. He worked, surprisingly, I didn't know this, but he worked as a track engineer for Valentino Rossi in MotoGP in 2006 as well. A man of many talents, what can I say? And that was when Rossi was looking like he might come to Formula 1, but didn't end up happening. He joined McLaren in 2015, which if you are a McLaren fan like me and you were supporting them back then, you know was an extremely painful year. That was the first year of the Honda engines. He then became a performance director in 2018, then a racing director in 2019. He basically was working with the likes of James Kears, who was the technical director under Andrea Seidel, and then when Seidel went to Sauber in 2022, Stella took over the team principal job, and it's been an upwards trajectory ever since then for McLaren. And it is not a coincidence that it's him. I think it's great seeing someone who's worked their way up like this become such a success. And yeah, I don't think it says exactly how long his deal is for, but it's a multi-year deal, so it has to be until at least the end of the 2026 season. Yeah, in true Formula 1 fashion, it's become really fashionable recently, that, hasn't it? Oh, such and such signs a multi-year deal, a multiple-year deal, a multi-year deal constantly, rather than actually saying when the contract expires. It's almost taboo to kind of reveal that at the moment. In football, they make a massive effort to be like, oh, it's a 5-year contract, but in Formula 1 recently, it's like, yeah, it's a deal for a number of years that's more than one. We'll let you know at some point. We'll let you know when it expires. But yeah, no, great news for him, great news for McLaren. I think he's been absolutely incredible, and I want to see where he takes McLaren. Hopefully, fingers crossed, everything crossed, for a Constructors' Championship this year. But even if they get a second place, I think that just constitutes massive uptick, really, and puts McLaren on a real high going into the 26 regulation changes in a few years. But yeah, what's your takes, guys? McLaren fans, let us know your thoughts on Stella staying McLaren for a longer term deal. And of course, keep it subscribed to the F1Chronicle.com to see much more video content on F1 just like this.